Guys, it's your boy Wings of Redemption, and it's Painkiller Already, episode 19, I think. I've kind of lost track of them. Are we the top? Are we the longest running podcast yet?
You know, so we're the longest running podcast, I think, of the major YouTube podcasts. But there's other ones out there. Like I know there's one called Idle Thumbs that's been running, I think, longer than us. And does Next Gen Tactics or Machinima have one? But as far as the majors, I think we're the longest ones at the moment.
And I got our first topic right here, and I'm talking about malware. These guys have to be making bank. I'm seriously, because I just got done fighting security suites, and I know it's got like malware bites and shit like that before I get a million fucking emails. Well, malware bites didn't detect it this time, and I had to take it and basically manually go into the registry and delete everything that it puts in there. And I guess it got to the point a couple times that I would pay somebody $50, $60 just to get this off my fucking computer. And I can see they could be making bank, but how can this be legal? I mean, Woody, I'm looking more at you on this aspect of it in the computer engineering field.
Mm-hmm. It's not legal. No. Does that clear it up?
I know it couldn't be legal, but how do they continually get away with it? Everybody has to know about it.
Yeah, so they have to get you to approve the install. And a lot of times that's done for example, there'll be like porn that you think you're installing, but you're really not. And did you read the terms of service? Sometimes it rides piggyback with something else that you want. Like, they'll tell you there's some special media player you need to view the torrent you just downloaded. And you're like, yeah, install it. And then you're getting more than you expected. So,
I bet that's maybe what I did. From my experience, this is what you call rootkit scareware. Like, all you gotta do is visit a website and it'll root it into your PC because it's so small.
See, now root is typically the super user. And when a rootkit, it normally means that you've installed something so that the next time I come to your machine, I can easily make myself the admin or super user or whatever you want to call it. If there's a piece of malware called rootkit that's not actually a rootkit, which it sounds like is what you've got going on there, then I hadn't heard of it. But there's so many of these things you can't keep up. But yeah, I know it sucks. I use AVG. It seems to be working for me, and I didn't have to fight it or anything, so I'm pretty happy.
Oh, and by the way, we kind of skipped over it. Our guest this week is xjawz.
Oh, yeah, we never skip over. That's the first thing we cover.
Yeah, you guys really fucked Jaws over this week. Nice job.
Hey, I blame Wings. Wings does it, right? Wings, aren't you the guy? This is the podcast.
Hey, malware is more important than xjawz. I want to get this out of the way because this shit pissed me off. I had to fight this shit like 7 hours because it would pretty much eliminate any ability to access the internet or programs you have on your PC. All you could do was buy this fucking software. And it's like, wow.
It's a bitch. It's a bitch.
I've got a laptop sitting here right now that is like so infected with evil that I can't even use it anymore. You open it up in safe mode and it's still like, nope, I'm still fucked up, and it like closes down. And I'm like, God damn it. It's like an $800 laptop, and I can't even do anything with it. It's just sitting down there. I sat on it the other day. I don't know.
They're quick to give you a fucking speeding ticket. Why can't they find the fucking programmers of this fucking virus or malware, whatever?
You know who I think is actually making these? Well, not the majority of them. I'm sure there's still a lot of teenage douchebags sitting in their basements, like writing this shit. But I think the antivirus companies are out there writing a lot of these viruses.
Oh, I've heard that said before.
It's just good business.
You're right. I have to believe a lot of these 2x4s with nails in them are built by car tire companies.
Yeah, it's like all right. Like imagine this. Imagine you're a fire department, and it's coming up next month to whether the county's going to vote whether we're going to continue our funding to the fire department, and you guys are like, fuck, I want a new fire truck. That shit is cool. You're like, well, maybe we should go burn something down. And everybody kind of looks at you and they're like, that's a great idea, Bob. Get the gasoline. Let's go. You know, like, come on. You set something on fire, but all of a sudden everybody's like, Good thing they had those firefighters this last week. Yeah, let's give them the fun.
Let's go ahead and tell them that this is fucking vandalism. And we might have a string of arson.
Yeah, we could have a serial arsonist in our town. You guys
have the mind of someone that was raised by car dealers. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Such a
I
bad
say it. It's already on the car, Woody. It's already on the car.
Wait, are you saying I gave you a bad rep?
All right.
I'm a hater. I'm not a hater.
Woody is a YouTube cock blocker. Woody is like that guy. Like you're. It's like I'm at the bar and Woody's like sitting next to me and I'm like talking to a girl and Woody's like, "Yeah, Cal, how many girls you nailed last week?" And like nudges me and the girl's like, "What the fuck?" I look back to where the girl was and she's gone and I'm like, "God damn it, Woody."
First of all,
so salty game, huh?
Yeah.
Internet cock blocker.
I don't know how one would go about doing that. But
always like, "How much money you make today, Cal?"
What? No. That's not fair. That's not fair. You're the shoes.
You're trying to complain. I'm trying to get to Kyle's level.
I've never volunteered any information about myself. It's always been Woody. So,
wait.
When you get your clothes out of the dryer, Kyle, how much money do you usually find?
When you say things like, I guess my favorite gun is the $15,000 one, but the most expensive was the $25,000 gun. You don't need me to tell people.
all I said was that my favorite was a Krieghoff shotgun. You're like, so how much was it? Nudge, nudge.
That wasn't me. No. Go check the tapes,
did.
baby. Go check the tapes.
Somebody did. Look at this guy. He always got an $800 laptop. Like, come on.
No. We're not interacting with the stream. It doesn't make for a good podcast.
Not allowed to. Okay, I'm not allowed to interact with them. They're like they're like
deliberately.
The neighbor kids. They're like a bad influence. I'll leave them alone.
All right.
Speaking of bad investments, fucking rims. I never understood the rims trend. Yes, they kind of look cool, but half the cars they put them on look stupid. Let me also tell you what looks stupid. The people that get these old fucking like Caprice Classic cars and put lift kits on them and put these rims that probably cost $20,000 on a car that book values for $4,000. That's
what is
stupid.
It called again? Badonkadonks? That's a butt,
Badonkadonks, right? Or something like that, or dinks or doinks. Stupid as shit. I don't know.
What the hell, Kyle? Come on, you're in the biz. What are these things called?
What are we talking about? Rims on cars?
Like a Caprice Classic with is it a bonk? The Caprice Classic with like 24-inch rims.
We got another word for that in the South, but I don't think I should use that on the podcast.
I know that word. Not to use it.
Dude, I swear to God, me and my dad. All right, so this was my day. Let me just quickly run through it. I stayed up till 4 a.m. last night playing zombies with Wings and Socrates, and I knew I had to get up at 7 to take my dad to the hospital. He was getting a colonoscopy and he couldn't drive himself home. So I took him to that, and then we went around and we were paying a few bills. And there's the Caprice Classic, jacked up with like $14,000 worth of rims on it, and he doesn't even have a fucking tag on his car. And we used that phrase to describe his automobile.
I mean, but seriously, let me tell you about investment for all you young upcoming kids. If you buy a car that book values for $4,000, maybe that a grandma used to drive. First off, its fucking pistons are probably gonna be shot with fucking calcium deposits. Second off, you don't go out and rent to own $10,000 rims to put on it. The bitches don't care. I mean, literally, half the time, if you got wheels, you're already above the game. You don't need to put rims on it. That's
exactly. Yeah. Here's the thing about it is, like, I don't understand that you're gonna get a car that's worth like $2,000 and go ahead and put like $4,000 worth of wheels on it. It's like, dude, just get a $6,000 car. I don't get it. I've never understood that.
You get you a nice, reliable car, and you probably can afford the insurance on it.
There you go, and a tag.
Here's the thing.
And a tag.
So, like, on one hand, I think these things are stupid, and I don't really get it. On the other hand, I have an automotive hobby, too, that I'm sure people think are stupid. If you're on your computer right now, do a Google image search on Rock Walker. Make it 2 words, Rock Walker, and do a Google image search. You will find a blue buggy climbing over some rocks, and that's me. I'm driving that thing, and that's my buggy. It has 37-inch competition-grade sticky tires. It has all kinds of stuff going on, and I've got chromoly axles on the interior. I've rolled that thing over on its roof a good over 20 times. Right? It's just a big roll cage with giant tires, and it goes anywhere. And there are people who think that's stupid. So
I've seen it, but I'm looking. That has a purpose. You can't go rock walking with your 24-inch Benelli rims or whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah.
See,
hey, you mentioned
you can't even hit a curve without wasting $20,000.
So you mentioned chromoly axles. Do they put chromoly on everything? I've got the barrels of my rifles are treated with chromoly.
That's just like a spray-on finish, though.
Yeah, no. So you
couldn't make a moly axle, dude. Moly is so fucking hard to melt.
It might not be chromoly. It's what would the inner axle be on this thing? It's not chromoly.
Probably a piece of fucking iron.
No. So here's the deal. When you picture a paperclip in your hand, and if you bend the thing a little bit and it'll sort of go back to place, it doesn't fatigue. In wings, you're probably an expert in this sort of thing. But if you bend it too much, then and you push it back, then the thing is fatigued. It's not as strong as it used to be.
You break the structural integrity on the atomic base.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So some metals are more resistant to it. Some will let you twist them a whole lot and then snap back to it and not have that problem. So when you're an off-roader guy, you need to buy things that can deal with that kind of shock load. And of course, I've got it all over that thing because I've broken everything.
Yeah, that's a really cool hobby you got. My dad used to do something similar to that, but I mean, they just had like stock. I remember he had a Toyota 4x4 that had positive traction, so all four wheels turn no matter what. And oh my God, I've seen him climb up some. These weren't like rock. I'm guessing.
By the way, that comes standard on Chevrolet trucks.
Yeah,
just want to point that out.
Like nothing standard can hang with a real rock buggy. Like I've climbed genuine waterfalls.
We're referring to a vehicle designed to climb rock to a vehicle designed to fucking look trashy.
Yeah, sorry I dropped my mic.
I got a 4-wheel drive pickup, and I got the 33-inch tires on it and all. It's not designed to. It's more for look than anything. Like I wanted the look of the truck. But at least my tires, if I need to go off road, I can do it. I can go through the mud puddle. I can go through the sandy pit. Why would you put these fucking $14,000 rims on your car? I mean, what does it prove?
I hear you, but what I was trying to say with the rock.
Let's hear the Jews insight on this.
I'll be real quick, and we'll go to Jaws. Yeah, I was just saying, look, that's not our demographic, so it seems stupid to us. But driving through mud or something doesn't seem quite as dumb.
Yeah,
that's what I was.
I don't drive through mud like on a regular basis. Like if I'm hunting and I have to go through a mud puddle, okay, I can do it. But I understand stuff that might seem stupid, but actually, like for example, like subwoofers. I have subwoofers in my truck. Some people might find that stupid. Why do you need to blow your eardrums out? But the same aspect, it gives me joy listening to the radio. What the fuck? All rims do is this, and it gets to the point everybody has them. It's not like you're something unique. It's like, ooh, I paid $14,000 for them. All right, let's go to the club. Get to the club. You inside the club, your car outside. You're gonna be like in the club. Yeah, I got $14,000 rims on my car. You go check it out. Yeah. Damn, you got that on a Kia Sophia?
Oh my God.
In all honesty, I don't really see much of a point in those rims, and it doesn't I see cool cars, and I see I look at the body of the car before I look at the rims. The rims isn't really something that I find people seem to fetishize the rims as a really really prominent part of a car that you want to look cool, and I don't think that looks so cool. But then again, I don't even have a car yet, and I'm still thinking about what car I want to get when I do get one. What would your advice be on that? I just turned 16.
Something American.
Something American.
But he just has turned 16. So if there were a 12-year-old who looked like she was 13 or 14, he could totally go.
Don't say this.
You don't want me to say it?
Go ahead.
No, hell no. I'm not doing it.
No, that's not true, actually. They have to be 13, I think, and within 4 years.
Oh, I got to type. All right,
to the birthday. Yeah.
Did you know what I was talking about? Did you know what Kyle was talking about, or no? Or did you just laugh to be polite?
No. He's talking about statutory rape over there.
No. He was talking about the comment I left on somebody's video, but we'll leave that all.
The video, I was laughing at it so hard.
What did it say?
Well,
you can't have an inside joke on a podcast.
Alright, fine, then I'll just say it. Junkyard put up a video, and this was completely innocent. So Junkyard put up a video where he showed his daughter and one of his daughter's friends, and he's like, you know, she's my 12-year-old niece, and I'm getting really nervous here because he's typing right now, but she didn't look 12. Kyle even said that she looked cute, and she looked cute. And
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did. And then his daughter. And then his daughter says, no flirting, you homos. And I said, if flirting with a 12-year-old makes me a homo, call me Freddie Mercury. And a lot of people got picked up that in the comment section.
But assuming that she didn't just turn, oh no, you got it. See, they're joking because I did have this topic on lockdown. Back when we prowled the boardwalk for girls, we'd find out like the legal range, and it's the same in a lot of states. Like, of course, you can't count on that, but it's pretty common. And usually you have to be 13 or 14, and within 4 years to the day, right? So if you're 16 and she's 12. Check your birthdays because, you know, it might not be okay. But at 12, I think you're out of luck either way. I think she has to be 14. Yeah. But when she's 14 and you're 18, you can look her up.
Well, the way I justified it to Kyle was I just turned 16, so it's like I'm 15. And she could easily pass for a 14-year-old, so I think it's
Nice.
That's the way.
Do you cruise around like school parking lots with pizza and PlayStation or something?
Sometimes.
Within 4 years. What would I be looking for, like 33-year-olds still in high school? I'm picking up teachers at this point. No, at my age, the rules are different. You take half my age and add 7, and that's kind of, you know,
I've heard
the deal.
That before.
Yeah. So I'm 37. Half would be about 18, we'll say. And then add 7, and I'm at 25, and we're good to go. That would be my single minimum age.
Until your wife castrates you.
No. That would be in another life, right? My wife, you don't trade that one in.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to agree with that one.
Hey, you know what? I have a topic. I want to talk about the gaming learning curve. So, you know, what was it like when you guys sucked? And I've got a story to kick it off. I have a friend, HK Stoner, and I hope this makes it to him. I played with him like every night, and he kind of struggled. And we did this thing where every time we went negative in a COD 4 lobby, we'd do push-ups. And like after, I don't know, a couple months, I pretty much never did push-ups. And, you know, because like the negative reinforcement, the pain of it would really get me focused. And it would get me to control every engagement, to not be stupid, because I didn't want to do my freaking push-ups. Well, for him, it didn't work that way. He still sucks at gaming, but he put on like 15 pounds of muscle, and he could do like 180 push-ups a night.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's totally true. He would do, you know, really, and we'd have these oddball competitions, like we'd take like a good player and list it, like, all right, so he's going to get 30 kills, and then if he gets more than that, then you have to do the spread. And if he gets less than that, then he has to do the spread, you know. So if he came up with 15, he'd have a bunch of push-ups to do. But this guy would rock, like, if you put him to it and, like, really motivate him, he'd have, like, 70 kill games. And Stoner would do, like, 45 push-ups or something ridiculous.
Wow.
And, so he got, you know, buff off video games. Well, more specifically, buff off sucking at video games.
Yeah.
And... yeah, so that's what was it like when you guys were sort of going through your learning curve? I mean, did you just play games since you came out of the womb and never really got used to things?
Well, I played a lot of single player, like and split screen with my cousin. So and he's really good. I mean, if he doesn't have Xbox Live, but I mean, he hangs in there with me whenever we play like split screen or when he comes over here, whenever I go to his house. So I was already pretty good because I was playing somebody that was pretty good. So. And I started with Halo, which is a game where you have to concentrate on hitting people alive. And I was pretty good at Halo 2 and Halo 3 before Call of Duty 4 came out. So I wasn't that bad at COD 4 right off the bat. As soon as it took me a long time to learn class setups and perks, which is one of the things that I stress in videos. Whenever somebody asks me, you know, how to get better, I'm like, it's all about class selection and perks. Just get that out of the way first, and you know, let the rest come naturally.
Yeah, I was actually about to make a commentary about that today. Like, guys, there's no reason to use cold-blooded, danger close for the most part. Like, stick to sleight of hand, stop and power, and Ninja Pro, and I guarantee you will improve your game. Like, don't use an ACOG, don't use a heartbeat sensor, don't use a thermal scope on anything other than a sniper, and I guarantee you will improve your gameplay. Because those are the simple things you gotta like Cal said, get out of the way.
I've got one exception to that. I think a heartbeat. I have a friend. I don't want to, call out Onslaught in particular, but I have a friend who uses a heartbeat sensor in S&D all the time, and it's really handy. I'll be dead spectating, and he knows where this Joker is, and he'll have to jump on him. So that might be a game mode where you've got the time to watch the baby monitor.
Dude, I use the baby monitor all the damn time.
I mean, PS3 though. You get on PS3 and the baby monitor is God mode, right?
We don't want to start this argument, do we?
No, I guess not.
But, no,
well, it's not really an argument. They can't respond to that.
Like baby monitor is good for defensive positions. Like, I found using the baby monitor, like when you're defending a flag, is fantastic. Like, if you catch people just kept coming up to you, or you just hide behind a wall, just constantly slaying around the flag. If a ninja happens to get there and takes it, you can shoot him before he gets away. Because he don't know you're there because you're hiding deep.
You know what's happened to me in my game? Like, the things that people hate about Modern Warfare, I actually suck at. So I used to have a class, I called it Cheap, and it was like a one-man army, danger close, noob tube class. And I only pulled it out when there was like multiple people on the other team, rocking these noob tubes and danger closes and etc. And I'd be like, all right, that's enough. I've died 6 times to this. I'm pulling out my noob tube. But then I would suck. I sucked because I only pulled it out in that situation. I don't even know how to aim noob tubes. You're supposed to shoot them in the air. I can't hit anything with them. And people say, oh, you don't need good aim. You need some aim because I don't kill the noob tube. So I actually got rid of that class and I just use bullets because I'm better with them.
Here's what you need to do, Woody. You need to you just need to know the trajectory. Like, I don't really aim with it. I just know if I put it like up mid-screen, how it's going to arc. But I realize the area of effect weapon, you just got to get it in an area people might be. You ain't got to wait to see somebody. You don't have to wait to do this. Just shoot it around the corner.
I'll tell you what's super effective. I did this the other day. I sat on the red roof on terminal, and I just spammed them into A domination where Dreams is over and over and over. And I went like 50 and 3.
Yeah, you can do that. Or you just shoot it right in that doorway, because there's always going to be a sniper wanting to get that sweet-ass collateral across the hallway right there.
And I'm just pulling him over. It was like double kill after double kill.
He does not care.
So that ties into the baby monitor thing. I'm not actually that good with a baby monitor either. It helps to get some timing on it. So
it seems like
Woody, I'm going to post a game of Capture the Flag with a baby monitor showing you how I like to use it. Because I use it mainly in Capture the Flag.
See, and one of the reasons I don't pull it out is I feel like if I post a game, like let's say I post a decent game, right? I get like a 22-1, and I put it up, and I'm sitting there looking at my baby monitor, killing everyone who comes around. They won't like that, I'm limited in what. I care what they like.
For tips. You're not going to them for tips.
Well, they're coming to me to watch videos, right? Yeah, the channel is about putting things up that subs want to see. And, when I take a baby monitor, then it's like, all right, this is almost gameplay that can't be used.
You're worried about those 8 motherfuckers that are going to hate. For example, I posted a video where I went flawless with the intervention with cold-blooded, and I had a baby monitor on it, on a free-for-all. And I had like 8 people like, ooh, you cheating, you use a heartbeat sensor. Use Ninja. It's not like you can't counter it. It's not one-man army, danger close, where you're just going to die as soon as you run into it. It has a perk that is predominantly the major third perk of everybody that plays competitively to counter it. It's nothing big.
Anyway, so back to the learning curve subject. Should I go back to that?
Yeah, please.
So one other thing I just thought I'd mention really quickly, one other thing that'll definitely help you improve your gameplay, other than like the whole perks and attachments thing, is bring down your sensitivity. Usually, like if you ask all the professionals at this game, they all play on low sensitivities, and that's not a coincidence. It's if you have a low sensitivity, you're going to have a much higher accuracy.
Low? Too low, like 2 or 3.
2 to 4. The high, like
3 or 4 is what I see a lot. People think 10 is the way to go.
Yeah, people are like listening to like these quick scopers and like they're like, oh, Optic Hex uses 10 sensitivity. Optic Hex uses 10 sensitivity because he spins around in circles a lot. That's not productive gameplay. It looks awesome. I like Optic Hex's videos; they look great. But if you're trying to, knock out a 3-1 KDR and win a lot of games and win more gunfights than you are right now, you want to be on about 3 sensitivity, buddy. And if you ever get sloppy one night, drop it down to 2. And if you still sloppy, drop it down to 1. Drop it down to 1. I mean, why not?
I disagree that.
I've contemplated 1. I have.
Even when I drop to 3, I find that people can outstrafe me. Like if they get real close to me, let's say for example we're on terminal and we're on opposite sides of some
fire your friend. Yep.
Even they outstrafe me too much, and I have a problem with that. So 4 helps me in close quarter battles. Now I'll admit, if I drop down to like 2, I do better at a distance because it's easier to get that little micro adjust and get back on target. But if you bounce way out there, down to 2 or so, I feel unarmed and easily beaten.
I think you can combat this close quarters combat thing. It's easy to kill close quarters combat hip fire if they're that close to you where you're worried about them running around in circles right there at you. Don't aim down sight. The guns have hip fire.
Yeah, it's not as if I don't know this or that I haven't tried them all. For me, I like 4. You gotta use your 2.
I use 4 targeted. It's mine changes. It depends. The more I play, the higher I might bump it up. Like if I'm really on my game and I'm at that part where I'm just snapping on targets really fast anyway, I'll bump it on up to 4. But if I haven't played in about 3 or 4 days, I got to knock it down to 2 because my FAMAS shot's going to be sloppy. And if you're sitting in the back of the map playing a defensive position, like if you're defending the flag and capture the flag and you're up, maybe up in the estate, 1 or 2 might be fine if you're making long range shots. Or on wasteland when you're trying to FAMAS somebody all the way across the map, 1 or 2 is great.
Yeah. Well, that's just, one thing I thought I'd say because a lot of people ask me my sensitivity as well, and that's one of the things you can just do that'll help you out across the board. But anyway, the learning curve thing that you were talking about, Kyle mentioned something that I wanted to address that is key. He said, he got better because he was playing with somebody who was good. If you surround yourself with better players, you're going to get better. It's like you can't avoid it. I used to play, in 2007, I was playing public matches in Call of Duty 4. And I ran into some guys, this team, and we became like a team. And we weren't good at all. And we started playing, and we thought we were good. We really did. But we started playing game battles, when I just found out about it. And we quickly realized how bad we really were at the game. But, by playing with better players and against better players, you're going to get better. So that really helps with the learning curve. It's great to play with your friends from school and all that. But if you can surround yourself with better players, I guarantee you that'll also, help with the learning curve of a new game or just a game you're trying to get better at.
That's totally true. And because I have a YouTube channel, I get exposed to better players than I would have otherwise. And I felt like it sped up my learning curve, and you have to be aggressive. If you're surrounded by really strong players, you got to get in there. You got to learn you can't just sit behind a barrel, know they're coming because they're going to die before they even get to you. You need to be able to push the pace, know all the spots. Better players help you play better. That's for sure. That was a good point.
Learn how to take cover while running forward.
Yeah, right. Moving, because the dangerous lines of sight. Well, you move from the position of advantage to position of advantage. Yep, and that makes a big part of the difference. That helps.
If you're standing in the middle of the street, you're fucking up.
Unless there's something there, a car, a wall, or whatever. But that's where the baby buffalo roam, right? Right in the middle of the street.
Yeah, the middle of the street. Even if there's a car there, the first place somebody's gonna look is right out in the open.
Yeah, I called out the car because there's a decent spot behind that green car and strike as you spawn trap up at C-Dom.
Mm-hmm. You need to get noob tube with a one-man army because they can't shoot worth a fuck.
I had a night full of nightmare shit going on the other day. I got on PS3 to try to get a live commentary, and I almost want to upload the audio without the video because the video is just disgusting to watch. But the audio is me being like, all right, so I'm going to try to go around this corner. I think there's a guy right... God fucking damn it, you fucking bitch! And you look in the guy's gamer tag, is bitch boy, I swear to God. And I'm like, oh, makes fucking sense! You would be bitch boy, you fucking cocksucker! And I don't know who I'm talking to.
Motherfucker sound like Adam Sandler.
Yeah, exactly. I'm fucking cussing this guy out. He can't hear me because I don't have him... Well, I got a mic for PS3 now because I just got Astros, but using the X41s I don't. And it's just... I was raging for about an hour and a half before I just got off and went and smoked half a pack of cigarettes and went to sleep. I was mad.
That's something I bet people would like to hear about. How's your transition from the Turtle Beaches to the Astros been? What do you think?
I like them a lot better. I really do. They crank up so freaking loud. And on PS3, I can just turn the game chat all the way off and turn game volume all the way up because I don't want to hear that shit anyway. And I've noticed that, like, I'll hear footsteps and it'll be like, choke, 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 choke. And I'll be like, uh-oh, he's right next to me. And I'll look and he's all the way down the street. So I got to get used to just how sensitive they are. But I'm hearing people that are down the street and thinking they're next to me. So I've got to get used to that. But I really, really like them.
Yep. So there have been times when, like, let's say we're playing S&D and I'm dead. Then the whole party is listening through that guy's ears. And it's become clear to me that with my Astros, I'm hearing things that some of the other guys are not. And that's happened to me more than once. I'm like, oh, he's to his right. And they're like, how do you know? Like, you didn't hear that? And it's nice. Yeah, so Astros are an advantage. They're not quite a constant UAV. Oh, and it doesn't happen overnight either. It can take a week or even 2 weeks. So the day you get them, don't be like, they're not what they said they were. It takes some time. But, once your ears get trained and you sort of know what you're listening for, then you're set.
There's one thing. An Astro guy with my X11s all day.
Yeah, there is one thing about the Astros that is its downfall, in my opinion. Not its downfall. I love them, but the thing, like Kyle said, he cranks the game volume all the way up. Well, that's great if you're playing by yourself, but if you're playing with a full party and you have to turn this knob to the middle, maybe even more towards the right than the middle. And for those of you who don't have Astros, like if you turn the knob more to the right, you're hearing more voice than game sound. You have to turn it more towards voice sound, and then you're not getting really loud game. Like if you need to hear your teammates, then the Astros really aren't that loud in comparison to the Turtle Beaches because it's one or the other instead of separate volumes, which allow you to change both. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't hear you, soundboard when I'm playing with a party.
Separate volumes that allow you to change both, to me, just achieve the same effect as one knob that controls the balance. I don't see it as a whole lot different. And the thing is, and one thing I wanted to call out, when the sound whoring, when you need your teammates to be louder than the game, the only time it's really a problem is when that darn music plays. Infinity Ward, why are they so proud of that ridiculous Donkey Kong bullcrap that they stick in the game? S&D, the most tense moment comes. There's 1 minute left, and then gay music starts playing. And I don't mean gay in a homo way. I mean gay in a you really anger me way. And it's terrible. Now Black Ops is coming out, and if history's any indicator, they'll allow you to turn off that horrible music. What did they say? Who's the guy that made the music for Modern Warfare 2? It was some
Hans Zimmer
composer. Yeah, Hans Zimmer. And they're like, we got Hans Zimmer on here. Our music is going to be fast. It's the same stupid video game music I hear and everything else. Let me turn your music off. It sucks. I don't want to hear it. I have heard it 1.5 million times already. You're taking away from my game experience with it. So, yeah.
On a side note, that doesn't play in hardcore. It only plays in regular.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I don't play much hardcore.
The next video I'm going to upload, I did the commentary for it earlier today. And as the game starts, it's a free-for-all. And as the game starts, that music starts playing. And I just lay down. I wait for the music to stop before I stand up and start playing. It's so stupid.
Yeah. Bad music. Bad. Hey, does Halo have anything like that?
Well, I mean, there's not as much sound whoring in Halo. I mean, there's a very tiny bit.
That's true.
But, it's mostly about the gun skill. I mean, if you're better than the guy and you could turn on him even if you did your first shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Halo. Now, we've talked about this on the podcast before, but I'm hoping that I come out of that 2-month Halo period with a better shot than I entered with.
Yeah.
Work on the stick control. That should be cool. And on the other hand, the beta couldn't end soon enough for me. Night after night of the Halo beta, it might not be my game, but I've cleared that from my memory, and I'm ready to try again. I'm hoping that I really like Halo, and I think what's going to happen is I'm going to play it for 2 months. Black Ops will come out, and I'll switch over, but we'll let it go.
Yeah, I think you can 4-shot now with the DMR. I think it's not a 5-shot anymore. I think it's 3 to the body and 1 to the head.
Maybe I think of Halo is tarnished because I never played it with a party.
Oh, it's a lot of fun playing with a party because the call-outs, it's all about teamwork and Halo and team shooting and all that good stuff, more so than Call of Duty could ever be. Because, I mean, you can go around a corner in Call of Duty and kill 3 guys in a 4v4 and be like, all right, guys, follow me. I just took out 75% of the team. But in Halo, it's like you go around the corner and two guys are standing there and they both shoot you twice with their BRs and you're dead. And and then they keep going around your flank and they do that to your entire team. Then they capture your bomb. They get the bomb and plant it. So teamwork's big in Halo.
Teamwork is huge, and everyone says it's huge in Halo, but I think they underestimate how nice teamwork is in Modern Warfare. I mean, you roll a
that's
team,
true.
you can win all night.
I think it's just as much a concentration of decent skill as it is teamwork. I bet you and Onslaught and all those guys. I bet you should all turn your mics off for a game. Don't chat at all and watch. I guarantee you do just as well.
No, I don't know about just as well, but we do well. Yeah, there are a handful of times, the call-outs are instant kills, right, which is totally unfair. But, yeah.
Well, there's a big debate. I mean, not a big debate, but a debate against whether or not Halo or Call of Duty takes more quote-unquote skill. And I think there's two elements to this debate, and I thought I'd ask you guys what you think. Because Halo, in my opinion, takes more gun skill. Like, you got to have a better shot for it. But Call of Duty is more a mental game, positioning. You have, a lot of it is, putting yourself in the right spot at the right time, and less of winning the gunfights. And I think those are both equal in, what takes skill. But what do you guys think?
I've said this before in my own words, but yeah, completely, man. Halo skill on the stick counts for a lot. In Modern Warfare, it's not necessarily how well you work the controller as it is how you work the way you navigate the map, the way you know the traffic patterns. That stuff is huge.
I think it's just double teaming people. Because I've outshot many people in Halo, and then they'll just run around the corner and kill me with a hand grenade.
Yep.
Or they'll run to the buddy, and I'll come around the corner. It's 2-on-1 now. I mean, it just ain't fun. It isn't fun for me. I like seeing the guy putting him down, next guy come on.
The teamwork aspect of it isn't what I find to be unfun. What I have a hard time in Halo with is, I'm going to go into the same thing again. The mortal sin in multiplayer games is dying when it's not my fault. And Halo is about unbalanced weapons. But there's like map control to own the unbalanced weapons, and that for me doesn't really work,
like that fucking auto grenade launcher.
Yeah, I love
seeking sticky grenades.
Let me say this. I was watching a Halo Reach trailer on Machinima the other day, and some kid was like, hell yeah, finally a game that doesn't have noob tubes. I was like, this game has a fully automatic heat-seeking plasma grenade launcher.
But that going around corners.
Yeah.
You said heat-seeking,
they're like,
you did.
Oh. I was like, I mean, it's not like every single person has one. There's only one on the map, and it's got a respawn timer, but still, this game has think about what I'm saying. Fully automatic, heat-seeking plasma grenade launcher. Like that's like the most powerful weapon ever conceived. It's retarded.
It's worse than noob tubes, and you can argue that it takes skill to go get that gun. You have to monitor the spawn. You have to own that part of the map. It counts for something, but
at the same time, what about you playing with the newbies? What about the people that don't know what's there?
Yeah, yep. I don't think that constitutes as balance in a game, but some people think it does, and if they want to play Halo, more power to them. But I don't think that counts as balance. I think everybody starts in the same playing field in Halo. You all have equal opportunity, but I guess not always. I mean, in the deathmatch, like a free for all, people might spawn closer to it than others, right? So is that really then immediately becomes imbalanced or unbalanced? So I don't like that aspect of Halo where they consider that balance, but. Whatever. I
don't think it's as bad as, and I'm going to mention a game that has awful multiplayer as far as balance, and that's BioShock 2. Remember the Big Daddy suit? And it just randomly appears, and like some dude hops in the Big Daddy suit, and all of a sudden he has a gun and kill him. Yeah, he wins free for all. XCal had a video like that. He's like, so I get in this magic suit and I kill everybody. It's like, yep. All of a sudden he's got this gun that kills in like 2 or 3 shots, and a grenade launcher on his left arm, and everybody else has their shitty ass regular guns.
You left out the armor.
Yeah.
He also has full suit of armor. It's and that commits the mortal sin in multiplayer gaming, dying when it's not your fault.
Yep. It just depends what kind of gamer you are. There's plenty of people that giggle and like, yeah, the Big Daddy killed me. But then there's people like me that are like, fuck you, cocksucker! You don't deserve that suit. I saw it first.
I hope your fucking family dies. Hope your dog gets arsenic poisoning.
Oh my God! Always with the heart.
I know.
Why does the dog have to die? Why does the dog have to die, Wayne?
Yeah, what's with the dog, man? Come on, sensitivity, please.
Leave it could have been worse. Could have been worse. Anyway, I
break your fucking house down. Break your Xbox over your fucking mama's head.
There you go.
You fucking son of a bitch. I hate losing.
I hate
losing when it's like the fucking helicopters in Battlefield. It's like, you a fucking bitch. All you do is drive a buggy back and forth and play the same fucking map. You son of a faggot. Holy shit.
I'll be doing live commentary on PS3, and it'll be one that ultimately ends up, not turning out to be a decent enough game to upload. And I'll be like, that motherfucker didn't deserve to kill me. And then I'll be like 5 seconds later, I'll be like, all right, that guy probably deserved to kill me, but I still don't like it. Fuck him. It's like I know that like he killed me because I just went around the corner wrong or something, but still I'm mad at him. Fuck him. He shouldn't have shot me. I just get mad. I get mad at games.
Whenever I get killed by somebody, I immediately think to myself, you know what? If that was like a fair fight, I probably wouldn't have lost it, and it keeps me calm, knowing that in the end, it's all about positioning. That guy was in a better position than me, and that's why he won that gunfight, not necessarily more skill, but. I guess that's pretty hypocritical of myself too, but I really hate getting killed by somebody who I know isn't as good as me.
Yeah, I was thinking about I should upload the video of this. I played a free for all on PS3 and I died 5 times. I went 30 and 5 and the 4 of my deaths were the same guy. His name was Bitch Boy. I mentioned him earlier. I swear to God, Bitch_boy. And he went a total of 6 and 10. So I was 4 out of 6 of his kills. The next game, I won 30 kills to 1 death, and he never got me once. And he went 2 and 10. And I'm like, how is it that guy was able to kill me, 4 times or whatever? It just that would never happen in any other game. In any other game, that shit would happen unless he's in the Big Daddy suit. That's ridiculous.
Or he's got the heat-seeking plasma grenade launcher. All right, never mind.
So, xjawz. So I was in your, you did a live stream a couple nights ago, maybe you know when, and you did Q&A.
Yep.
And in it, you were talking about your enjoyment of watching YouTubers suck at being YouTubers. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
How they bury themselves. That topic cracked me up. So can you expand on that again? You say there's only maybe 1 or 2 YouTubers you actually like watching for their good content, but there's a handful you like watching for them bury themselves in stupidity.
All right, well, I'll start off by saying most people would approach this topic by saying, I'm not going to say any names, but I'll say names. I go to, Kyle, I'm not trying to kiss up. I really like your videos, and I watch them whenever they come out. So I see your videos, but I don't get, super excited. I go to G-Unit's channel at least 2 or 3 times a day. I shit you not. I go to his channel, and I will watch his videos. I'll go to his second channel, and right now, all right, and I don't mean to bring up the partner thing because I know it's sort of top secret. I'm going to his second channel every day laughing my ass off at the fact that now we have partnerships on our 70,000, 50,000, 90,000 subscriber channels, and he is uploading videos because he found a loophole in his second blog channel where he has a partnership, and he's making 3,000 views on each video while, he doesn't have his partnership. And that, that's kept me, in pretty high spirits the past couple days. Knowing that he thinks he's made out like a bandit, uploading, because he got a partner on his second channel by uploading little videos showing his face. And now he is forced to, or not forced, but now if he wants, to make money off this whole YouTube partnership, he's like, hey, nobody's going to catch me. I'll just start uploading videos here. So he's making, a couple dollars a day. And I'm just laughing, I'm just laughing at him because he thinks he is awesome because of this little loophole he found. Meanwhile, we're sitting over here with our, partnerships on our big channels. But other channels that I go to Fisticuffs and watch him make a fool of himself sometimes. I know you like Pwnstar for Hire. There's some things about him I don't like, and I like to go to his channel. And I can't lie. I laugh at people who, no offense to anybody in live stream or anybody who's listening to this who plays MMORPGs, but I played, this game RuneScape when I was 12 years old. But if you're over the age of 13 or 14 and you're still playing World of Warcraft or RuneScape, I see that as like more of a fantasy land than an entertainment game. And he was playing some weird game on his channel, and I got a kick out of that as well.
Me and Wings were talking about this the other day with Dungeons and Dragons. Now, I know Wings plays Dungeons and Dragons, and I didn't know just how much of a dungeon master he was, so I was tiptoeing around it. Because I watched this documentary on Zune called Dungeon Masters, and these people dressed up like their characters. And these people lived their characters' lives and introduced themselves as like Gilgamel, the Dark Elf from Rivendell. You know,
You're talking about LARPing faggots.
LARPing,
I was never a dungeon master. Dungeon masters is a job for like the super geek, the guy who's creative, because you got to create a storyline, a campaign. You got to create monsters, engagements. Don't want to do that. I just want to play my character. I mean, I'll go so far as I'll role playing on the table with the other characters. I'm not gonna get out of my damn chair. I'm not gonna knock my soda over trying to fight a goblin or some shit. I'm gonna roll my fucking dice.
I can respect that, because I mean it seems like Dungeons and Dragons seems like advanced Monopoly to me. So I have no issues with somebody who plays it like you play it. But the people in this documentary were serious about this shit, man. They had their little, I guess you got a character like a little, I want to call it a doll, but that's probably, what do you call the little man that you got that's your character?
Action figures.
The figurine, right? The little cast iron
figurine. All right, yeah, they got these little metal figurines, and they're hand painted. And this chick has a white wig on. Her entire body is painted black, and I never saw her with the makeup, but she might have been kind of cute. I was kind of digging the black body paint. I was wondering just how far she went with that, but she's painting her little character, and she's like, "Yeah, my boyfriend never wants to go out. He's always playing World of Warcraft." And I'm like, "Yeah." I enjoyed that documentary, but it got to a certain point where I felt so sorry for the people I had to stop watching, because they were super no lives. They were
on the YouTube haters thing that xjawz was talking about. Do you guys ever do that too? Do you watch like a particular YouTuber and just enjoy them sinking themselves?
No, because I know that I don't want to give. There's about 3 or 4 guys that I absolutely despise and wish death upon, and like sorrow. No, and it's the same people that everybody hates. I mean, if you hate a guy out there that's a hated guy, that's the guy I hate. And
well, see, there's people I wonder how they got big, but that's just me. I'm like,
I don't mind that. There's people out there that have tons of subscribers, and I'm like, how'd that happen? But I don't care. Like, whatever. People enjoy their videos, so watch them. But there's people that I just despise, and I refuse to go to their channels, click their links, whatever, because I don't want to give them that tiny amount of money that they get per view. I really do think about that. I'm like, no, I'm not clicking your fucking video to say you're a fag, because I'm going to give you a 1/10 of a cent. I'm not doing it. I'm not giving you that 1/10 of a cent today. No way.
Yeah, I could see you being that kind of guy. Like you do it in like a spiteful way. Like you don't want them to get anything. I understand where you're coming from, but really, like, I almost want to. Not only do I like to watch themselves dig themselves into a bigger hole, but I kind of want to just kind of keep tabs on them, if that makes sense. Kind of see what they're up to, because I know I'm thinking in the back of my mind, like, what if he gets, like, a while ago I was thinking this about a certain guy. I was like, what if he gets a partnership? Because I had heard something about how you can put a partnership onto any other channel that you like. Kind of like, never mind. But I thought, like, you know, G-Unit or White Boy was going to, like, put a partnership onto their main channels. And I was like, oh my god, like, that would have been, like, upsetting to me. But I just
kind of bothered you to see them do better.
Yeah, it really does. Like, I've had many when I used to be really, really close to White Boy a long time ago, and I don't hate him now. I actually, like, after listening to the podcast with, you know, Wings, White Boy Bash, and them, I really started liking him a lot more, and I used to kind of not like him, but I was in a subscriber war with him, an unofficial subscriber war where, you know, I got to 20,000 before him, and ever since then, I'm like 30,000 subs above him now, or 20, whatever. But same thing went for G-Unit. I passed him recently, and I'm pretty happy about that. And I cannot tell you, somebody sent me a message yesterday and was like, I made G-Unit go back 4,000 subscribers. Why don't you thank me? And I was like, did he really? And I go to his channel, and sure enough, G-Unit went from, like, 52 to 49. And I was like, yes! Like, how did this happen? Like, And I was so happy that I had gone.
Somebody reads a little too much into this shit, huh?
How did it happen? Like, how did you make him lose?
Does the display probably?
No, the display problem yesterday. Well, it went down incrementally, and somebody sent me a message when that glitch was happening, and he went down. It was like after he went down 4,000, and he continued to drop later on that day, but I didn't know that it was a glitch at the time because it wasn't happening to a lot of people, and I was really happy about that. But I guess we don't want to talk about hate. I know I'm going to be the least liked guest on a podcast ever for mentioning what I said about MMORPGs.
I don't know. You got a pretty big shoe to fill here. I think only Play is the one that people hated the worst so far.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah,
All right,
he got a lot of negative feedback on his.
Did you hear what he said about me?
Wait.
No, I don't follow this shit.
All right.
Listen, I don't watch soap operas.
I don't want to start anything. But if anybody gets offended at what I'm about to say about Blade, just understand that I'm just stating a fact. He said in a commentary 2 or 3 days ago that listening to xjawz makes me suicidal. So he said that we had a Skype conversation about it, and he said that he sees that I have a place on YouTube, but he says that listening to my commentaries makes him suicidal. And later, he made a video apologizing for some comments he said, and then in the apology video, he specifically said, but I will not apologize for my comment about xjawz. So, I swear to you. So, he made a video where he said that he didn't like he had listened to a commentary from this new commentator who made it onto Machinima Respawn, who uploaded like a 25-7 sniper free-for-all in Bog, and he was like, it was the worst one I'd ever heard. And then he mentioned the comment about me, and then in this apology video, he apologized for the first guy, and then he was like, but I will not apologize for what I said about xjawz. And
all right. A couple things going on here. One, I'm a little surprised Ed only used me Blade, because he's an older guy. I bet he's in his upper 20s, and usually by then you're kind of out of the whole, like, that sounds kind of high schoolish. And the other thing is, this can only help you, man. You know, I need only use me Blade to start hating on me. I get myself 150,000 subs.
The 50 messages I woke up to that morning said otherwise. I had quite a few people say, "Oh, unsubbed. I agree. You are boring," and stuff like that. But
really, you know,
yeah, but most of the haters are the vocal.
No. What I need to do is get a dual com. That's the way to do it. And to add on to how terrible this is, at the end of the apology video, he says, you know what, maybe I'll do a dual commentary with Chromatic, which was the guy who went 25-7 on Bog. And now all the comments are like, yeah, dual commentary with Chromatic, fuck xjawz, like all this shit on there about me. And I'll tell you, that was one of the days when the haters gonna hate, you know, Benjer just said that in the street, but it was like the haters got me down a couple days ago.
So, Jaws, I'll tell you this. I've been there, man. You know, so I treat my subs pretty well, but there are times when, you know, for whatever reason, the tide turns against me, and yeah, you think that you'd be invulnerable to haters, and I'm certainly a lot harder now. Like, one example I like to throw out is the me of even 6 months ago. They'd say that my aim was bad, and it'd be like, that's not nice. Why are they talking about my aim? Why are they giving me a hard time? The me of now, I literally get comments on my video like, Woody, I'm going to fuck your wife and digitally rape both your kids at the same time. And I'm like, yawn. You know, like, I don't really care. You know, the haters, they've lost their power over me at this point. YouTube has sort of thickened my skin a bit. And but to say that I'm completely invulnerable, that I'll never, you know, get bothered by a wave again is probably wrong. It happens sometimes. Sometimes they manage to bug you. So
yeah. I got this hate comment that I dwelled on because I got attacked for one of the most ridiculous things ever. So a bunch of people have been asking me not to spoil the score of my games in the title of the video or in the commentary. So what I decided to do, because well, I went with a different approach. What I said was, you know, I won't spoil the score, but what I will do, because I like the clicks, like I want more people to see the video, I'll just say, like, for example, the video I posted the other day was a 56-1 team deathmatch, so I've made the title 50-plus kill team deathmatch. So I'm not spoiling it, I'm not spoiling the amount of kills exactly, or the deaths, but I'm letting them know that it's a very impressive video. And I get a comment, this isn't a 56-kill team deathmatch, this is a 56-kill ground war game. Team deathmatch. And this guy started hating on me because I called it a 50-kill team deathmatch, but it was a ground war team deathmatch and not a regular. And he was hating on me for that. And That like people will literally
that's being
find
petty.
things.
That's all being petty.
Yeah, that one got through
his ass.
Well, no,
it surprises me because
here's what would happen in my world. Blocked. Done.
Yeah. So, xjawz, you are not a YouTube rookie, right? You've been in the scene probably longer than I have, and you've got a ton of subs. You've seen millions of comments.
I remember your comments on my videos a while ago. Just
Mine?
sorry to go off on the tangent. Yeah, you left a comment on a video where I mentioned something about stopping power affecting every gun, and then you said, "Hey, Jaws, why don't you check out my gun stats video that I uploaded?" And I went over to your channel and I subscribed after that video.
Oh, really?
This was a long time ago, and you said the only gun that is not affected by stopping power is WA-2000, and I remember that to this day.
So, what was I going to say? But I'm surprised that count, because that one wasn't all super harsh. But it's weird. Sometimes they penetrate the armor.
It's the fact. It's what Wing said. It was such a petty comment. It was so unnecessary, and he was attacking me for something absolutely ridiculous. That amongst
out of you.
Yeah, amongst all the other comments that were really trying to attack me, the ones where it's like, you're a fag, it's like, oh, alright, that's just a troll. But the ones where the people are speaking to the people who are watching the video, you notice like there's two kinds of comments. The ones where it's like, I like your videos, or it's like, I like xjawz's videos, where people understand like they're not going to actually get. You understand what I'm saying here?
They're talking to the masses. They're like, this guy used to make good videos, but now he's just a sellout cocksucker.
Yeah, now that's the guy who's the troll, but the guy who's like speaking to you, that's the ones where I think, alright, so this guy thinks I'm going to read his comment, because for the most part I don't read all my comments, at least on Machinima videos, and this guy's like, I almost feel like I don't know if it's wrong of me to think this, but I feel like, he's directly attacking me, and most people don't do that. Usually they express their opinions in the comments, but they don't use it as their personal, medium to attack me, and that got to me.
Yeah.
All right.
Why are we even having this discussion?
All right.
The sons of bitches and go on with your day.
Sounds good.
Let's talk about how many blocks we have. Because Wings, I think
let me look it up.
Are you winning, Wings?
How do I check?
I'm winning by a landslide, Woody.
Are you? I mean, like,
you could take the top
thousands blocked. Oh, and xjawz, just to help you, go to your inbox on YouTube, and then go to address book, and then you can see blocked users. It'll give you a number.
I bet you take xcal, blame truth, you, Kyle, and xjawz, and I still got you beat.
Really?
I got 11,493 right now.
You have 11,500 people blocked.
Wait,
that is more than most people have subs. That is big time.
I wanted to pull an exact number out. I'm not going to ask you how to tell me again, but I don't know how. I have definitely under 50
subscriptions. Go to your inbox. Go to your inbox. Go to address book, the very bottom one.
On YouTube.
And it'll say, YouTube. Go to your inbox. Go to address book. And it'll say all context friend block users, and it'll give you a number. 11,493.
Yeah, Benjo just said like you've got more blocks than he has subs.
I have 70. I have 72. Not all right. I thought it would be under 50.
And I will block your bitch ass for anything. Like if you say this guy paid $50 for his video, blocked. You say Wings is fat, blocked.
I'll tell you what. Like sometimes, whenever I'm doing a community block, like usually if I send Woody a message, I'll be like, "Hey, could you block this guy? He said this and that." I'll let Woody know what's going on. Because Woody is, Woody doesn't just want to like randomly block somebody. When it's Wings, I'm like, block this guy. Send the link. I don't have, and I'll check back later because I'll do a community block and then I'll watch the guy's subscriptions go down. That's the part where I win, and I just like pressing refresh and seeing him loot. Like, all right, Bash just blocked you. Refresh. Woody just blocked you. Refresh. I like doing that. So
go ahead. I thought you
Wings needs no explanation, and Wings is fast.
I do not give a fuck.
Wings like fun.
I don't need an explanation either, so you know. Like, I used to consider, like, if I asked you for a community block, I was asking you for a favor. And if you asked me for one, then that was the same thing, right? Because I'm losing a sub. I've changed my mind on that. If someone has said something to someone I know that aggravated them enough to warrant a community block, then it's a gift to me. I want to know. I want. Whoever said that, whatever, they're going to come to your house and kill your dog. Whoever said something about your girlfriend or something about you.
I'll be waiting on your bitch ass. I'll just shoot anybody who rolls up on a Huffy bike. You fucking.
Oh my God, Woody, finish your thought, and then I've got a story. Finish your thought. I got a great story.
I don't want that guy to sub to me. If that guy's capable of being that kind of a jerk, then I don't want him to sub to me. And just real quick, for people who don't know what a community block is, almost all the major YouTubers know each other on Skype or know each other, you know, at some level, right? There's a little community, and we talk to each other, and et cetera. And if a guy just says something I don't like my aim stinks, then I probably do nothing. If he says F you Woody, I'll probably block him. If he goes above and beyond, like that guy that said something about my wife and kids, I'll issue the community block. And there, you know, I might send a YouTube message to like the top 25 people on YouTube and have all of them block him. So he has to make a new account or whatever. That's how the community block works. Kyle, do you want to say something?
Yeah, let me get this right before Kyle's story.
Go ahead.
Bender just said, do you guys block anybody because of a particular channel? I have blocked people that wasn't even on my channel because I didn't like them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll go to I'll go to my machinima videos. I'll go to like yours and Woody's, and I'll be on machinima videos, and somebody will be like, yeah, that guy's a faggot. Yeah, Kyle did this and that. Yeah, that FPS Kyle guy's a douche. Oh, I'm blocking you. You're gone. Because when the subscriber thing was happening, like 2 guys posted on my channel, you deserve this. I'm like, wow, all right, you're gonna block.
Yeah, or I'll go to like a Wings video, and if they say something particularly nasty to Wings, like above and beyond, I'm like, I don't want that guy as a sub either. You know, he's gone. And yeah, but about half my blocks, I have 140 blocks. Maybe not half, maybe like 30 or 40 of them are community. Like they didn't even say anything to me. They just bugged, you know, someone I know, and they had to go. There's a measure.
I'm looking at it like this. There's like 9.1 billion people on Earth. Your ass does not matter to me.
There's not that many people, but I'm not gonna get started on that. I know we're not communicating with the chat box, but somebody asked, you know, do people care about being blocked? And I guess he doesn't know what it means. When you're blocked, you can't subscribe to me anymore, and you can't comment on my videos. You can't communicate with me in any way at all.
Yeah, it's like putting them on mute.
It's like completely segregating them from your channel. It's going 1960s south on their ass. But
your story, Kyle?
Yeah. All right. So a couple weeks ago, when that guy had gotten my phone number, whatever, and posted it, this other guy took it upon himself to kind of like sort of track me down since he had my phone number, and he's like, "You live in Toccoa, Georgia. I have your full name and your address." He says, "I live in Toccoa. Put $1,500," and he gave me a location. He's like, "Put $1,500 in a brown bag and leave it here, or your ass is mine." And I'm like, "Excuse me? Are you fucking joking?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kick your fucking ass if you don't leave the money there." I'm like, "Dude, first of all, I don't live in Toccoa. Here's my real address, though." And I gave him my real address. I'm like, "Anytime, my friend, please, I'm begging you to show up. I've been waiting on somebody to try to pull something at my house for years. Please."
I don't know how many practice rounds I've fired.
All I need you to do is break a window and start crawling in, my friend. You will not make.
I don't need you to go that far.
Half of you will be outside when it's over.
I need you to touch my front porch. That's all I need to signify threat to my home.
Exactly. I'll drag you halfway. I'll drag you in the door after I've shot you, then call the police. I dare you.
I gave my home address out just a while ago. People are lucky. Wings lucky people don't know where he lives at. Here you go. Please give me a shot.
So for people who are listening, like on their iPods or whatever, we're live streaming this, and try not to interact with it so we do a good show. But Wings typed in his home address into the live stream chat box, and I'm like, WTF? But I guess that's the deal. You say, bring it. I'm armed.
Damn straight. I'm armed to the fucking teeth. I have fucking life integrity. I do not give a fuck what you got. I guarantee you I'm a better shot than you. I guarantee I can control recoil better than you. I love it. I love it. I want to have a fucking mountain of bodies at my damn doorstep. The cops come by and be like, "What happened here, Mr. Jordan?" Fucking YouTube dude's a bitch.
xjawz. So
consider these blocked.
So Wings, Kyle, and I bet each of us, if we wanted to, could get our first round off in less than 10 seconds right now. Like that's how armed we are. Where are you in this, xjawz? Is there a gun in your
house? I got 2 arm guns here. 3, actually 3. I got a.
Are you touching one?
I got a rifle over there loaded. I got a shot. Well, it takes me probably about 2 seconds to get the weapons. They're like across the room.
Me too.
I got a pistol like sitting right here on behind my Xbox.
It would take me. I'm not going to exaggerate here. It would take me 3 seconds to get to my pistol and fire a shot. It would take me maybe 6 seconds to get to my AR-15, load it, and shoot.
All right.
Because the clip's right next to it on the table.
I want to ask a quick question, and then I'll answer your question, Woody.
Yeah.
Kyle, did you shoot a real gun in that FPS Russia video? Was that a real gun?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna be my. What did you? I'm an internet cockblocker. I asked him this question already. What caliber was it?
That looked like a 9mm to me.
Did it?
It looked like a 9.
Don't worry about caliber. I was trying to guess the gun off the sounds, like 9mm Glock.
Me too. Yeah, I guess it is a 9mm. I thought it was 9, but I wasn't certain just by the sounds. And beyond that, I had no idea. It was dark out.
But your question, do I own a gun? No. Does anyone in my family own a gun? No. My grandfather owns and would like to hunt with me, but I've never gone hunting. He's like he was a Vietnam vet, and he likes to do all stuff like fishing, hunting, and whatnot. And I'm not really into that. I know you guys are probably all into hunting and fishing and whatnot.
This is going to sound very racist, Jaws, right here.
Go ahead.
This is what the Jewish people have been fucking up on their entire existence. Learn how to defend yourself.
All right. Well, here's my theory. All right. So I told somebody who I know, I'll talk about them in a second, who owns a gun, who's actually a police officer, what my philosophy was on guns and if I'm going to get one or not. And I'll tell you guys what it is. You guys can tell me what you think about what I think. A lot of people. All right. So a lot of people in their lives have a moment. Not everybody, but a lot of people have a moment in their lives where they tell a story to people. They say, if I would have had a gun, things would have gone down differently. Like if I would have, been armed. And I don't want to be one of those people who says, if I had. I want to be one of those people who said it went down differently because I had. So, and I know that might sound like funny, but I would like to, maybe be armed, maybe when I turn 18 or 21, whatever the age or, whatever the restriction is, to, get my license and own a pistol. I wouldn't want a gun collection, but I would want to be armed when I would need it, I would want to have that safety. Now, does that sound like a reasonable reason to get a pistol or a gun, or do you think maybe not? Especially keeping in mind that I live in the north. I live in Pennsylvania or New Jersey at any given moment.
Yeah, so Jersey is actually pretty tough to carry in, but in Pennsylvania is not. And that seems like a normal reason to have the gun, at least in America. I'm sure there's Europeans who are listening to this thinking that having one is just wacky. But usually, you carry and just in case.
All right. Well, the person who I told, who's a cop, who's my dad's friend's daughter, she told me, and I know this wouldn't apply to you, Wayne, so you don't need to make the comment, but she said that a lot of people who get guns, when the time comes, they're too afraid to actually shoot it. And that's one of the things I really thought. Like, am I one of those people who would be willing to take another person's life? Maybe when it's not maybe they're not threatening my own life. Maybe they're threatening somebody else's life. Maybe they're robbing a place. Whatever the case may be. I don't know if I would be one of the. I have to be honest. Like, I don't know if I'd be one of those people who would. I might get scared. I might lock up and not do anything. And then I might be in a position where I'm holding a gun to a guy's face where I'm not willing to pull the trigger. Like, I'm not. I know that makes me sound like such a it makes me sound effeminate, but I don't know.
Shoot him below the belt.
Directly below the belt buckle.
No, like shoot him in the leg or somewhere. It's not considered attempted murder if it goes wrong.
I think you're giving some pretty bad legal advice there. I don't think it really matters where you hit them.
It does. Like if you purposely shoot them below the belt, it's not considered attempted murder. But if you shoot them above the belt,
well, this might vary by state because the training I have comes from my concealed carry weapon course that they make you take in North Carolina, and here. You can't shoot a guy, below the belt and say like it wasn't, a shot to kill. If you fire a deadly weapon, it's they don't care where you aim.
You got to prove it in court.
No,
they're going to arrest you either way. Either way, they're going to arrest you and they're going to try to throw it on shit. But they can't, by law, generally, they can't get you with attempted murder if you shoot a guy below the belt.
I would advise everyone listening to this.
To not
be
shoot
careful about using the word redemption as your attorney, because
I'm going this far about this. Like, if I had to pull a gun out and I was going to really use it, I would not care so much about taking the motherfucker's life as human incarceration. I mean,
yeah, in North Carolina, it doesn't matter if you're trying to shoot them in the foot or not. If you're shooting guns at people, they treat it the same way, regardless of. Well, if you kill them, I guess it's an extra thing, but. they treat it as a pretty serious offense, and they don't take this by what are trying to hurt him.
It all depends on what kind of judge you get. A lot of these things, like if you get the wrong judge and he's like got a little extra money in his thing, like maybe a new prison's been built, yeah, you'll get attempted murder presumed below the belt. But if you're just going out and you got a good lawyer, you'll get aggravated assault.
See, I admire that you're speaking with a confidence that would make Rush Limbaugh blush, but I think you're totally wrong.
Dude, look it up. Look it up.
So
my grandfather shot a black man for stepping on his porch, and he got aggravated assault because he shot him below the belt.
So I was thinking this week's cool story, bro, wouldn't be cool at all.
I mean, that sounds mighty racist, but I do live in the Deep South. My grandfather was a major racist.
You be stepping on my porch, boy.
Oh my God.
The guy's like, I was looking for directions. What the fuck?
And I'm laughing. I'm such a jerk. Oh my gosh. But crazy people are funny. So everyone's asking in the stream, and I'm trying not to interact with them too much, but I was going to talk about it anyway. I put my dog down on Monday. I mentioned it in the podcast last week, and it's a crazy, terrible thing. So when dogs die, it can go one of two ways. With Brandy, we had two dogs and they were twins, so they were the exact same age, brother and sister. And his sister died about 2 years ago, and we put her down. And she had cancer. And the cancer was in her mouth and her brain, and she just like fell off a cliff. It was really bad. With Dakota, one of the hardest things about it is all the remorse and uncertainty that goes with it. You know, this is a dog who was having a hard time walking. He'd fall over like on the hardwood floors, just slip and fall. He would go to the bathroom, like he'd lay down and then
you kept that dog alive too long.
We might have, yeah. You know,
your dog has trouble walking. It's time to put him down.
Without even standing up. Like if anyone's owned a dog, it's really not normal behavior for them to poop in a laying down position. And he was on. We gave him about $100 in pain meds every week. So it wasn't like we were doing anything cheap. You know, we did what we could to extend it and to give him a good life. He was 14. Average lifespan for a lab is about 12. And even then, like, he'd be alive today if I didn't put him down. Like, there's this uncertainty and doubt that goes with it. And I took him to the vet, and they give him a sedative first, a little shot in the leg. And at this point, I guess he's sort of happy and loopy, but he laid on his side and put his head on my lap. And I'm petting him on the ear, trying to console him. And I'm telling him everything's okay, but I'm thinking, like, I'm about to kill you. I'm about to issue this death order on you, and you've been great. And then they give him, so he's virtually asleep even before they give the, I don't know what it is. I'm going to call it sodium pentothal. It's like sodium something. And they put that in his leg, and he sort of slowly fades away. It took like 5 minutes for his heart to fully stop, and he twitched now and then. And I stayed there for 15, 20 minutes, and so I'm 37. I bet I've cried like 4 times since I'm 20, and that was one of them. So
that's terrible. I have a lot of dogs here because where I live, people just drop them off, and I feel sorry for them. So I just take them all in, and I just buy like these massive 50-pound bags of dog food, and I take care of them all. So I've got like 10 or 12 dogs outside that are just random dogs that I've had all of them. They've all been neutered, and so there's not going to be any more dogs. But one of them a while back, I don't know what happened to him. He was like a big chow. He was like part chow, and I don't know. One day he just laid down and like didn't get back up, and he was just in this terrible pain. Like he's just laying there, and like you would try to like examine him to like see if something was wrong, and he'd just start howling in pain. And I was like, I don't know what to do about this. So I mean, honestly, like the best thing to do just seemed like to put him down, and I shot him in the head. And I mean that may sound like terrible and awful, but I mean, honestly, if I'm the dog, I'd rather get shot in the head. He didn't feel anything. He's gone. I was feeling kind of remorseful about it, and then he starts howling in pain again, like at random, laying there, and I'm just like, all right, pow. And just shot him. It was terrible.
But I would argue that you remember I described sort of the two positions: the time where you know it's right, and then this sort of slow fade where a dog is just dealing with more pain and immobility and etc. And you had, I think, the easy decision. Like I think you can live the rest of your life and know, yep, I was within 5 minutes of the right call with my childhood dog and then my recent dog Dakota. I could have argued for 6 months earlier, and I think you might have even argued for 6 months later, and it's hard to pick the perfect day.
Yeah.
You're literally you're describing the point my dog is at right now. It's probably going to be like a couple of weeks. We're waiting until the end of the summer, which is just a couple of days actually, because my mom wants another dog, and we got another dog, and the dog didn't how like a dog usually attaches to like one person in the family. Mm-hmm. I don't know, the new dog that we got didn't attach to her, so now she wants a new one before she puts this one down, and
that leads to another thing. This is the afternoon I put my dog down, and I have to look, I was as sad as a human can be when I put the dog down. It's not like I didn't love the dog or that I wanted to do it, but I hit Craigslist and looked at Great Danes because they kind of appeal to me. And then I'm like, did I just cheat on my dog? What's going on here? Or, then I was like, well, maybe it's the other way. Maybe I'm trying to fill the gap that he left, and it's not really a measure of not liking the dog. And, but it's like, you sit there and you measure yourself and you criticize your own grieving process. And, so that was my Monday.
Have I ever told my dog massacre story?
No.
About my dad's dog being killed by the neighborhood dogs and the ensuing massacre?
No, but you're about to.
My dad had a Jack Russell Terrier named Hank, and Jack Russell Terriers think that they're big dogs. They have the mind of like a Rottweiler, but they weigh 15 to 15 pounds, and they're vicious. The dog hated me, so I couldn't if the dog was in my dad's lap and I went over to pet, talk to my dad or hand him something, the dog attacked me. So I guess there was a female dog in the neighborhood in heat or something, and it went to the end of the driveway, and it had snuck away, and by the time my dad had found it, they had killed it. They had just bitten it across its body and just crushed its rib cage and was laying there dead. So I get home from school, and it's the last day of 10th grade or something for me. So it was like a summer vacation, and my dad's out there crying, holding this fucking dog. And I'm like, well, what are you going to do? He's like, I'm going to kill them all. So there ensued a Clint Eastwood-esque massacre on the neighborhood dogs, and I'm talking about they got taken out. It was like a Death Wish movie, all right? They got taken out in all kinds of different ways. They're I'm not even exaggerating. The first one, Dad pulls down the driveway, and there's this German Shepherd, and he shoots the German Shepherd immediately as soon as he sees him. The dog starts flipping around and jumps in a bush. He gets out, puts the gun to its head. He's like, I got you now, you son of a bitch. Shoots the dog in the head, throws it in the back of the truck, and disposes of the body. I remember coming home from school one night, or not coming home from school, but
are these people's pets or
yes,
wild?
Yes, they are. I remember going into the kitchen, and there my mom and dad are, and they've got a pound of raw ground beef, a packet of hot dogs, and a bottle of antifreeze. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, what are you guys doing? He's like, shh, because he doesn't want to turn it out. So you can imagine the next half hour was spent driving through the neighborhood, throwing poison balls at the neighborhood dogs.
Oh my God! And he blames each individual dog in the neighborhood. He said, I don't know which one did it. Got to get them all. Oh my God! That sounds like one of the things that you would get mad at Wings for saying. No offense.
And then my cousin was in the truck with my dad one day, and they were driving down the driveway, and my cousin was telling me this story after the fact. He's like, yeah, there's a dog down there. My dad's like, shoot him. And all there is a Ruger pistol, a little .22 pistol, and he shoots it, and the dog's not dead. And he's like, you want me to go finish him off? He's like, nah, just finish him off from here, 50 yards away with a pistol. I'm telling you, he loved that dog. That dog was a member of the family, and these neighborhood dogs killed the dog, so no one was going to be able to live after that. And we don't have neighborhood dogs now, as you can imagine.
I've been in a handful of fights in my younger days. I've had a fair amount of fight training afterwards. I want no part of Kyle's dad. If Kyle's dad was after me, I think I'd throw my money at him and run. I think that'd be my game plan. That man is criminally insane. I don't want to deal with it.
He has a very serious temper. When he gets mad, and he'll sit around and think about stuff, and it'll get him like he's not as bad as he used to be. But he was telling me a story the other day. He's like, I was driving from Athens back to Royston, Athens, Georgia. Some of you may know, and this truck pulls right out in front of me. And then they threw their arms up like it was my fault. He's like, oh, I wasn't going to have that. He's like, I whipped the truck around and drove back and followed them. They pulled into a junkyard, and it was 2 black guys in the truck, and there was 4 more black guys out in the parking lot. He's like, they saw me coming, and they all started running at my truck. He's like, what they didn't know was I had the Super Black Hawk in the truck, which is a .44 Magnum revolver with a scope on it. He's like, I got out and pointed at those fuckers. He said, if they kept coming, I was going to kill them all. He's like, you've never seen people run as fast as those guys are running.
After hearing all the stories about your dad, I can't lie. I've thought about what he must look like. I've thought about a cross between Hulk Hogan, but without Hulk Hogan hair. It's got to have the Bruce Willis bald hair. Am I close? Bruce Willis bald, but
in my mind, he's full on Paul Bunyan, right? He's got a big barrel chest, a flannel shirt, and he carries an axe all the time.
You know the guy that played in the Adam Sandler movies is always the foreman or the big guy.
Yeah.
That's how I picture your dad.
I'll upload a picture of him. I may upload a picture of him here in a little bit.
Richard Keel. Richard Keel's his name.
The thing about him is you see big guys you see tall guys and you see big guys, but he's just he's every part of him his hands is the most striking part about him, because I remember he came with me to Atlanta one day because I was buying a car, and he was co-signing with me to buy the car, and the finance manager of the car dealership was an ex-NBA player. He was 6'7" or something, this big black guy. And later on, that guy actually left the dealership that I bought the car from and came and actually worked with me at the Ford dealership I was working at in Atlanta. And we were all outside smoking one day, and the manager's like, y'all ever seen Kyle's pops? And everybody's like, no. Kyle's pops got hands like frying pans. And this guy's an ex-NBA player, so he's got these massive hands himself. He's like, I shook his hand, and it just felt little. A little woman shaking his hand. He looked like he could just kick you and choke the life out of you. I'm like, yeah, he can. He can.
My friend's one of my best friends in high school growing up, I'm still friends with him now. His father was this massive mountain of a man, and he had the same sort of thing, hands that weren't normal. So I'm 6 foot, 185 pounds, right? I'm not giant or anything, but I'm, full size, maybe above average size guy. And my hands are just lost in his I'm a child. It's crazy.
It's it's not just the hands are big, but they're just thick. His wedding ring, I remember his wedding ring had to be special made, and it's
like a belt.
His fingers we were in the truck today, and I'm looking at his hand on the dash, and his finger is 2 of my his pinky finger is like my thumb. I'm like, dear God, man, I would hate for him to slap the shit out of me, because he's always worked really hard. I remember him telling stories about working with his grandpa doing brick masonry and not using a trowel on the mortar, using his hand. Imagine making a kung fu karate chop and getting the mortar like that. So his hands are like sandpaper, they're just rough. I'll upload a picture in a little bit.
I'd like to see that. So I think the podcast is wrapping up. Does anyone want to cover something before we close?
If we don't have that much time, then no. But I was going to propose a topic, but I don't know if this is something you guys want to talk about. Just in general, I think this is something that everybody has an opinion about, whether it's yes or no, or they like it or don't. Marijuana and the legalization of it, and maybe medical marijuana use. But I don't know if you guys want to talk about that or not.
Oh, yeah, we tend to shy away on this thing from any kind of controversial topic. Or, if it's I don't know.
Woody tends to shy away. I think marijuana.
That's not true. That was sarcasm. I'm dripping with so much sarcasm. The man cave has a puddle in it. Dude, of course we want to talk about you.
All right. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. All right. Well,
so you was totally believing it, Woody.
Yeah.
I guess I'll start with my opinion. I wrote a 15-page research paper in my junior year on it. So anybody who wants to argue with me on anything, like they act like they know what they're talking about, I immediately shut them down. And it's one of my favorite things to do, especially with teachers and people who think they know what they're talking about. Because that's what I love to do. I love to make people who think they're in charge, I like to belittle them. And so I
what
like
side
to
did you come down on?
For the legalization of marijuana. Well, listen, I don't approach it the way most people do, and whatever opinions you may have about the topic, I hate when people approach this subject of, the legalization of marijuana like, oh, it's just a plant, never harmed anybody. The way you need, because that way is just not effective. People tone that out, and they've heard it 100 times. It's not going to be, people aren't going to be convinced by bringing up that opinion again, or that whole
cocaine's a
notion
plant.
again. Yeah. What I go after, the way I did, because my teacher said, absolutely not. You're not allowed to write your research paper on, the legalization of marijuana or abortion. But she let me, because the way I go at it is, why was it made illegal in the first place? And it's a mix of yellow journalism back in the 1930s, and, people who had their private interests in the timber industry, and, if they made marijuana illegal, they could, subsequently make both hemp and the actual cannabis plant illegal. And there's so much backstory to it that nobody knows about, that, if they heard about it and if they really knew what they were talking about, they would say, well, then why, if people would have had the same push for, if the prohibition push would have been as strong as the criminalization of marijuana push, then, alcohol would still be illegal today. But because, it's, much worse for you than marijuana. And I'm not going to get into the details behind it because I don't want to make this a 3-hour podcast, but I know what I'm talking about. And if you want to do a little bit of research, just look up Harry J. Anslinger on, the internet, and you're going to figure out all about, why it was made illegal in the first place, and why it was, a lot of preying on the racism in America, and again, yellow journalism. And
I want to hear the story. You hinted knowing it, but you're not telling it.
Let me sum it up for you real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way marijuana was illegal is the same reason you'll never see flying cars. Do you know why you'll never see a flying car? Take a guess.
I'm going to guess fuel efficiency?
No, because it would destroy shipping lanes. It would destroy borders. It would destroy shipping lanes. It'd be a whole fucking mess and fiasco. The same thing is with weed. Weed can be used for other things than just straight up smoking. Not only there's the obvious side effects, it slows your reaction time, it makes you lazy and all this other mess. But the other fact, it would destroy like the paper industry, destroy some of the clothing industry, and all these giant monopoly companies would be losing tons and tons of money off a plant that you can grow in your backyard.
I hear those brought up all the time. You know what? One of the biggest ones that it's going to affect law enforcement. A huge part of law enforcement is funded on fines of marijuana, and that's why there are separate laws, and I don't know them specifically, I didn't look too much into this, but there are separate laws with marijuana than the other drugs in the same class as marijuana, because they know that there's going to be so many drug busts and so many petty crimes with marijuana that they're going to be able to make a ton of money by not arresting these people, finding them, putting them back out on the streets to do whatever, and then recatching them, finding them again. And, this process is like a huge, I forget the percentage, but it is, a huge part, considering that it's just, marijuana and, everything from cocaine and not even drugs, but all the other crime in the world that, the police make money off of. But that's another one of the big reasons why it can't be made legal today, because all these, private interests and how it affects the economy and, like Wink said, shipping routes and whatnot.
So if you've done a lot of research on this, you've probably heard the arguments that say it'd be good for the economy because they'd be able to tax it and control it and tariff it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That'd be a counterpoint to the police making money off it.
Why not have prostitution be legal if that's the case? Because pussy's used a lot more often than marijuana is. And
what?
Did
you say prostitution is used more often than marijuana?
Yeah.
No, he said
pussy.
He said pussy.
Oh,
which I think includes the nice healthy relationships.
All right. Yeah.
Just look at it way in America. I can pay Woody to have sex with a woman, but I can't pay a woman to have sex with me. That's the way it works in America.
But wait, you can pay me to have sex with a woman,
Yes.
But you can't pay a woman to have sex with me.
No, with me. Like I can't go out and say, I want you to suck my dick. Here's $50. I can't do that, but I can go. I can give you $50 to suck Woody's dick, and it'll be perfectly legal.
I have a question, just really quickly.
That's not true. How does the porn industry work?
Oh, all right. So I have a great.
I see where you're headed with that.
All right, hang on. I didn't off subject like a flaming Volkswagen on a summer night, but I got a question here.
I got. All right, go ahead.
All right. Prostitution is legal. It's illegal for me to go find someone on the street and offer her money for sex, but pornography is legal. What if I got a camera? Like, I don't get it. Like, what's the difference? If I have a license to, make the film, can I just go pick up hookers with my camera?
Yeah, that's a good point. What about those POV porno movies? They're paying the girl to suck their dick or fuck them, but they're videotaping it. Does that all of a sudden make it legal now?
Mm-hmm. Just having a video camera present makes it legal, I guess. I don't know.
Here's what I'm saying, guys. If you're going to pick up a lady of the night, maybe on a side street, back
or like a call girl,
just bring your cell phone. Bring your cell phone.
just have the iPod, cell phone above your head like this.
This is another situation in which I advise you to be careful when using Wings of Redemption as your attorney.
I would say we're not using this as our attorney. We're using this as all right. The reason prostitution is illegal isn't because it's immoral, isn't because of religion. It's because you can't keep track of the taxes. If they could properly tax it, it would be legal as day and night. Because it's legal in other countries, like in Korea, for example. Korea, I have a buddy named Bruce.
Australia.
No, I have a buddy named Bruce. He's a military police on the DMZ in South Korea, and he's telling me about how the Korean girls will pimp out their daughters and stuff, and they have these cards where they have to go to a medical clinic every day, and if the girl doesn't have the card, you don't supposed to touch her. She has to have the card, and they have like little vans parked on the side of the road that you can go on and get your little fuck on, come back out, pay her the $5-10 and go on about your business. Perfectly legal. But see, in the United States hasn't created that kind of system mainly because we're a Christian. We're a Christian community in the majority. Yes, we have all kinds of religions here, but majority of 70% is Christian, and it's kind of frowned upon. But for the most part, I think the taxes is what's holding it back. If they could put a system in that would not conflict with religious beliefs, we tax the shit out of some pussy.
I think a lot of it has to do with it. It's just not accepted. I don't even know what the stats are where how true it is, but apparently a lot of the girls in prostitution got there because they were desperate, and it's not really something that they want. And that's a big part of why prostitution is not legal in the U.S.
Yeah, but on the other hand, marijuana is pretty socially acceptable, like, now. Wouldn't you agree?
Like, I'd say that. Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm on Reddit.com. I know I keep mentioning that site, but I like it over there. And people have said numerous times, they're just waiting for old people to die. They're like, oh, man, as soon as old people to die, they'll stop giving gay people a hard time. Pot will be legal. And, all these, all these issues that old people flock to, they're like, 10 years from now, these jokers are going to stop voting, and we'll be all set.
Well, gay people need to become more predominant, or we need another world war to control the population. One of the two. Your choice. Because the fact is, if nobody died, there was no abortion, you didn't control the population, you'd outlive your means.
Yeah, I'm hoping for that zombie apocalypse still.
Yeah, and I'm booking my flight down to Tacoma, Georgia, is it? As soon as I hear about that.
I'm sorry, Jaws. No Jews allowed. It's
really?
You're walking into Egyptian territory down there.
Kyle, I'm actually half Egyptian.
Let me bring this up. I know this is going to be super racist, but, I live in the South. I live in the South, and black people complain about slavery all the time down here. You didn't give me that job because I'm black, and the whole thing is, I live in the Section 8 housing because I'm black. You gave me the speeding ticket because I'm black. Who cares about slavery? Seriously, the Jews are the ones that should be complaining about it.
Yeah,
they were
right?
enslaved for 3,000 years by the Egyptians, which are black natives.
The Africans.
The Africans. 3,000 years. And then Hitler came along and killed 70% of their population off the planet Earth. And now because you were enslaved for like 40 years?
Yeah. the black people really need to ease up. They need to look to their friend the Jew and say and see what a bad time really is, because you guys have had it hard for your entire existence.
Yeah. I am going to get hate for all the racism you guys put out there. That's what's going to happen.
I'm not racist, though. Like, come on. I just don't like people who aren't white.
I just don't like people who don't have, blonde hair, blue eyes. Don't follow.
The master race. Come on.
Let me go and break down the master race, too. I could do that for you, because I've read Friedrich Nietzsche. And Hitler was just a dumbass. I was looking at the context of, like, the blonde beast will rise from Germanic lore. When he's talking about a blonde beast, he's talking about motherfucking lions, Hitler. He's not talking about Germans.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't need to get into this. This is a subject we might not want to touch on, the Holocaust.
Well, it's a little late. Oh, yeah.
No, we touch on every topic. And I'm about to be a guest on You Ain't Grizz Baby, and we're taking it to a new level over there. So... that's sick and wrong, but it's funny.
Yeah, but Hitler was based on, the whole Friedrich Nietzsche thing, where the man's supposed to be strong, he's supposed to be assertive, he's supposed to enjoy going along in his life. He's not supposed to have those weak-willed things like, Christian is meekness, humility, being humble, treat the poor, and all these things, where on the other hand, Nietzsche was like, be tyrannical, do what you need to do to succeed, have a fulfilling life, enjoy yourself, 4 or 5 wives. Hitler thought the stronger man was supposed to rule the earth. That's why he killed off like gypsies, illiterate people, ignorant people, the Jewish population, because he's seen as the Jewish population as the people of Jesus, and they inhaled the meekness and all this in their lineage. And if he could wipe that off the earth, he would do a great deal of progressing the human population as a strong, strapping place, just like even in animal kingdoms. The female of the pack wants to mate with the strongest male of the pack to have better offspring. Hitler was doing the same thing for the human race. That's what he was looking at and doing. But it's a really complex. If you guys actually want to look into it, you can send me a thing. I'll give you a professor has a really good documentary about it.
All right.
Is the documentary called White Power?
No, it's not. It's called Hitler and the Friedrich Nietzsche Continuum.
Just checking.
All right. Hey, I think this is a good podcast, guys.
I think so too.
Oh God, they're gonna get us off iTunes. Yeah, we got explicit on lockdown. So very good. That was Painkiller Already, episode 19.